Welcome to the Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast on Tobacco Road Sports Radio and TobaccoRoadSportsRadio.com as part of the Wrestling Wednesday card. I'm your host, Michael Davis. Today, we have a special triple threat episode. Welcome back to the show today, Mr. Shannon Smith. Shannon, how are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. My name's Shannon. My favorite wrestling video game is WWF No Mercy.
WWF No Mercy. And we were talking backstage about, hey, let's bring up our favorite video games as we get on. And joining us today is the host of another Wrestling Wednesday card show. It's also my co-host of the Cat Cave, which you get to watch today. It is your guy, Bully Rye, from Tapouts and Touchdowns, Ryan Frick. Ryan, how are you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm excited to talk wrestling with you on a show for a change. We always talk football between this and between our shows in the Cat Cave. But yeah, listen, there would be no mercy without my favorite wrestling video game of all time, and that's WCW NWO Revenge for the Nintendo 64 console.
Oh man,
That set the standard for wrestling video games going.
You're right, man. I won the Cruiserweight title with Juventud Guerrera last season.
It's such a good game, man. I mean, and the roster was so deep. You could go and edit, like you could actually edit outfits and attires. So you could make like Goldberg in an NWO shirt, or you could go back and do like the WCW purple and yellow Macho Man Randy Savage stuff. And yeah, it was Mr. THQ, and there was another one that was like from the video game company. But yeah, it was. And there was a code that if like during the opening sequence, if you hit the joystick or turn the joystick on your N64 controller, when Hogan is strumming his title in the opening sequence, it will all of a sudden have the NWO logo on the world title.
Wow.
So yeah, good stuff, man. Nice little Easter eggs, man. I got that game upstairs, and I bought an N64 off of a flea market or something like that years ago. I may go fire that up tonight.
Dude, that would be pretty sick. Now, of course, I'm your host, Michael Davis, and I didn't, grow up in those video game eras of the Nintendo 64. But what really got me into it was SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. That was pretty underrated. But my favorite wrestling video game of all time was SVR 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, that GM mode.
That
set the bar.
Yeah, that was the best GM mode they ever did.
Yes,
I mean,
very much.
Listen, objectively, Here Comes the Pain was the best SmackDown, like WWF SmackDown game they ever did. But yeah, GM mode on SVR 2007 was fantastic.
I've got that. Well, got that one as well.
Dude, I'm glad they brought GM mode back into WWE games this year. It's just like, okay, like it's all right, but it's not SVR.
You need to be able to do GM mode. You need to be able to do GM mode with your friends. Like the three of us should be able to go in and run NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, and we should be able to trade amongst each other within our rosters.
Mm-hmm.
And we're fighting for ratings. We're fighting to put on better cards. That's where they're missing it. That's where they're missing the boat.
That's where they're missing the boat. And we'll talk about some things in wrestling kind of missing the boat right now. This is a boom period. Let's be honest. Like me and Shannon have been talking about this. Ryan's got his wrestling podcast on Wednesdays, like Tapouts and Touchdowns. He knows this. We're in a boom period of wrestling. We have wrestling every single night now. We have Monday Night Raw. We have Tuesday Night NXT. We have Wednesday Dynamite. We have Thursday Impact. We have Friday SmackDown and Friday Rampage. And now we have Saturday Night Collision with AEW. It's been about a month of this experiment of Saturday Night Wrestling in the summer before we pick up with college football on Saturday evenings. And we were on Out of Pocket this week with, Desmond Johnson producing as well. And we were just talking wrestling and we ran out of time. And so we're like, let's push this to Wednesday for the Drop the Mic episode. And Ryan, you said you had some thoughts on this one.
I did.
Is AEW Collision good on Saturday nights? Is Saturday Night Wrestling like working in 2023?
Well, first of all, I'm disappointed that you forgot to mention that New Japan Pro Wrestling comes on cable on Thursdays as well.
Where?
They come on the same network that Impact is on. They just come on.
So the one that nobody has. Okay.
I mean, listen, if you don't have access TV, you need to talk to your cable company. That's not my fault.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I get access. I get New Japan that comes to my DVR. I get Impact that comes to my DVR, which brings me to my point. Yes, Saturday wrestling will work. It is working. It doesn't matter what day of the work it's on. In this day and age, it is all about give me my content now. So you got to think a lot of people wait. If you've got Netflix, you're watching a Netflix show. They're releasing like half a season at a time or a full season at a time, and you're binge watching it. If you're watching something on Disney Plus, like a Marvel series on Disney Plus, a lot of people are waiting until the entire season launches and they're going to binge it. They don't want to have to sit there and wait for the next episode. They don't want to wait through commercials. We live in an age where just about every cable company that you have, or even a lot of streaming services, give you the opportunity to rewatch, whether you're watching Hulu and you can rewatch shows and pay for it to be ad free. Or Peacock, where you can pay for the ad-free part of the WWE network. So the point being is that it doesn't matter what day of the week wrestling comes on. I would argue that the vast majority of fans, unless it's Monday Night Raw, because what else, unless it's football season, what else is anybody watching on Monday nights? I would argue that most people are DVRing these shows, whether it's Friday Night SmackDown, whether it's Impact, Collision, Dynamite, or Rampage. People aren't watching it live, but they are getting the content live, and they're helping the ratings because they are hitting record on their DVR. They're recording the series, and come Sunday, because they were out Saturday night doing their thing, and they were watching football during college football season. Sunday, before all the NFL shows kick up, they can turn on their DVR, they can set to watch Collision, and they can fast forward through the commercials to get to the next segment. Saturdays are working because it doesn't matter what day of the week wrestling comes on, because there is so much access to all that you want right then, right there, at one time without having to wait for it, that you don't have to watch it live anymore. It's not like WCW Saturday Night, where if they got preempted by the Atlanta Braves and instead of the 2-hour show from 6:05 to 8:05, you got an hour show, and you're like, oh, well, that's crap. Like, especially if you're a wrestling fan and you don't care about baseball, you're like, I don't want to watch the Braves play the Diamondbacks. Like, give me more Saturday night wrestling. People don't care about that anymore because of the use of DVRs and on-demand content. So yeah, it's working because people don't have to watch it live.
I don't know if it's working because all the ratings are down, but Shannon, do you agree or disagree with Ryan on this one?
I gotta start checking my house and checking around my house, because I think Ryan was peeping in on me because I was watching Collision. No joke. I was watching Collision this morning while I was having breakfast because I wanted to watch it fully. I wanted to watch the Owen Hart tournament where Ricky Starks won. I wanted to watch the match, and of course I was doing that. Then I was watching SmackDown as well too. Had to watch it again. So I mean, Ryan makes a very, very good point with no one really watching wrestling live anymore. It's smart because, I mean, in my Hulu section, I got Monday Night Raw from last year, and it does the seasons for me, and I'm able to watch the seasons as I go. I'm able to binge watch it like it was Netflix. That makes a very valid point. Will it work on Saturdays? The ratings may not be telling you the whole story, although ratings are what these cable companies go by. I get it. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is, we do live in a society where, we get it. We get everything right then, right now. Like we were talking about beforehand, like you were saying before, MD, we are in a boom period of wrestling. All this wrestling is available to us. I'm pretty sure Ryan remembers when we only had two wrestling companies on TV, and we had to wait to get wrestling magazines and VHSs and then when social media would come, we would have to get it off the social media from there, and we never got it live. And so that's a very important factor. I didn't think about that. But the only problem that I do have is that with AEW being on Saturdays, if you look at all of the Collision episodes, like I'm pretty sure all of us have, there's not really been any bad matches. They're stacking this card up. I mean, and that's what's doing it. It's not like WCW Saturday Night where you had some of the developmental guys going in and you maybe had your upper mid-card guy being the main event. You've got Punk. You've got CM Punk there wrestling. You've got Bullet Club Gold wrestling. You've got FTR wrestling. You don't have like your come-ups, your scrub league, if you will.
This is an AEW Dark on Saturdays.
Exactly. I mean, for real, you don't have that. I mean, you're actually getting really good matches. And that's the only problem I may have with that, is that we have really good matches on Saturday. Not saying they need to change their product, but people are really missing good matches on Saturday. I think that may be the reason for the rating spike, is that maybe some of your wrestling fans might be thinking, well, I'm not getting the same quality wrestling on Monday, but I mean, on Wednesdays. That's not the case. They're stacking the card up, and the card looks really, really good. So that's my only drawback from it. But all in all, if we would really have to see this time around. It'll be interesting to see with college football coming on Saturdays. Some of your NFL games may be coming on Saturdays. It'll be interesting to see. But as far as can it, I don't think so.
See, and that's my concern, is like we're a month away from college football. We're a month away. And this show was created because of one guy, CM Punk, not wanting to work Wednesdays. Just like, JBL was WWE champion because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays. Like that's why we have AEW Collision. And they're expecting CM Punk at this age, at this stature in his career, after a year of being drugged through the mud, to draw in 2023. I don't know. And Ryan, I know you really don't like CM Punk. I don't know if this is the guy to be able to draw people to watch Saturday Night Wrestling, especially over college football.
I mean, listen, first of all, you mentioned the ratings are down. We're also not taking into consideration the fact that summertime is normally the slow period for pro wrestling. After WrestleMania, everything in the wrestling world normally slows down. So that could contribute to the ratings being down as well. Can CM Punk draw? Listen, I've been very, very vocal about my displeasure for the man the real name is Phil Brooks. I think that the reason
don't attack him personally. I'm
attacking him personally because the reason why he calls himself CM Punk is because he is a punk. He's not gracious with the fans. The fans were upset when he walked out of WWE. They were upset with what happened at the media scrum, and he basically, if you don't like me, I don't care. Like, don't come at me with the fact that CM Punk is here for the fans. CM Punk is here to continue to build his ego. CM Punk gave a half-hearted apology backstage so that he could be accepted back into AEW, only to go and cut another scathing promo in which he called, which he essentially called out the Bucks again, calling them fake Bucks, right?
Bucks.
He can draw because of the majority of the marks on the internet still like CM Punk because they're still holding on to the pipe bomb promo that he cut in WWE. The fact that he beat John Cena and took the title with him, knowing that he wasn't leaving the company. That a lot of the people that hate Vince McMahon to this day were on his side when he left WWE. When he had his outspoken interview at the media scrum, there were the marks on the internet that sided with him, that are basically believing every word of every one of his promos. So yes, CM Punk can draw, but Phil Brooks is a garbage person. He's a mediocre wrestler at best. And the only thing he has going for him is his microphone skills. And MJF, at this point in his career, is better than CM Punk is on the microphone. LA Knight cuts a better promo than CM Punk does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, CM Punk's going to draw. But AEW didn't need CM Punk to launch Collision. CM Punk needed Collision so that he didn't get sued for a breach of contract because of the way that he would have been ousted from the company. So, yeah, he'll draw, but if there's a reason why I don't watch Collision, CM Punk is that reason.
And there was Ryan dropping the mic on CM Punk with a little promo right there. Yeah, let's not get CM Punk and his keyboard warriors mad at us on the Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast.
Come for me, bro. Come for me. Please come for me.
Now, Shannon, you did bring up the Owen Hart Cup tournament where CM Punk actually lost to Ricky Starks. I was shocked. I thought that was set up for CM Punk to win. Do you think they made the right decision with Ricky going over?
I definitely think so. To echo what Ryan is talking about, look at CM Punk's track record. Same thing at ROH. Summer of Punk. Goes to WWE. Same old, same old. Goes to AEW. Does the feel-good stuff on Friday with the fans, talking about want to work with these young guys. And look what he does. Listen, MD, I know that you've heard my thoughts and talks about the Attitude Era. I think people that love CM Punk want the Attitude Era back. And guess what? No, they don't. They don't. And to be real about it, though, I'm glad Ricky Starks won. Because CM Punk complained about the same stuff. Complained about how WWE used The Rock, put The Rock over him in WrestleMania. And what is CM Punk wanting AEW to do with him? Put him over young guys like MJF and Ricky Starks. He's pretty much hating himself. And I don't understand that. Okay, he carries around the belt that he never lost. I get it. I understand that. You never lost the belt. I understand. You did get hurt. I understand. But the fact of the matter is, you're not champion anymore. Let it go. You've burnt almost every bridge. You're going to burn the bridge of AEW right now if you keep messing around. You already burned the bridge with WWE. Nobody wants you back, but, the marks that love him, all the guys that are CM Punk fans and, oh, man, CM Punk did no wrong. And I understand why CM Punk feels the way he does. To be honest with you, I really don't. Because CM Punk has reached up and got the brass rings that he's gotten. Be happy with what you got, my friend. John Cena ate him up on the microphone. John Cena put in more work than he did, but you hate that man because everybody loves him. Sorry, dog. That sounds like a you problem to me. Hate to say that. I mean, but it is what it is. And you can say what you want to about John Cena. He might have been this, he might have been that, but his work ethic and his workload and everything he's done for that company speaks for himself. And putting the title on him may not have been the best move every single time, but it worked. Because putting the title on CM Punk, I don't think it would have worked as well. But getting back to what you're saying, Ricky Starks, they made the right move with him. They need to push these young guys. They need to put these young guys up here because these young guys are kicking butt right now. I love Darby Allin. I love MJF. I love Ricky Starks. I love Orange Cassidy. All these young guys that are doing it. The Four Pillars match that we just had not too long ago. I'm liking every bit of that. Ryan, you hit the nail on the head. CM Punk needs Collision. Enough said.
Yep.
But does Collision need CM Punk?
To be fair, they're guys like FTR looks up to CM Punk. There are people in the locker room that look up to CM Punk.
Yeah.
Which is by all means more power to them. I'm sure he's great with the people that he works with outside of the people that created AEW, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, to your point, they need to build on the young stars in AEW. Ricky Starks, I don't want to say he was getting stale, but they needed something for him.
Yes.
At this point. And so this Owen Hart thing was a great win for him. I'm I think they got it right with him. I think they got it right with Willow Nightingale.
Yeah.
I think something that isn't being discussed is what happened after the match with CM Punk, where he went and out and hugged David Chris Benoit.
Yes.
That was in the front
David
row.
Benoit. Yes.
So I think that deserves a conversation for another day, but I digress. Listen, they absolutely got it right with the people that won. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Ricky Starks going forward. You had me until you said you enjoyed Darby Allin, because I've been very vocal about my disbelief in Darby Allin, but again, we'll let that one slide. But yeah, Starks and Nightingale were the right people to win those tournaments and win those titles and those trophies. It was nice to see Jushin Thunder Liger come and try to get the title or the trophy to Ricky Starks. But I'm curious as what direction they're gonna take Ricky Starks in now that he's beaten CM Punk. And again, if it was CM Punk's call to take the loss to Ricky Starks, then more power to him, because I mean, even Chris Jericho when he was young was like, well, these old geezers, talking about Flair, Hogan, Hall, and Nash, they don't want to give it their spot. So I'm going to go to WWE and make my own. Well, now, to your point, CM Punk is the guy that he accused everyone else of being. So put over the young guys, build your roster. You created AEW to get young guys over, the Acclaimed, Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, MJF. Stop dwelling on a storyline where Christian Cage is hoisting the TNT title for Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Stop trying to incorporate the Hardy Boys into storylines with other young and up and coming guys. Just stop it already.
I'll agree on the Hardy Boys. Christian is going to end up elevating Luchasaurus because he's already elevated Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy elevated Jungle Boy.
No.
And look
no. Hold on. Time.
Now, hold on. After his match at Forbidden Door, now I get it. I get what you're saying, MD. I get what you're saying. But I think Ryan does have a point.
He doesn't.
But no, check this out. Wait a minute. Now, chill.
I want him on all of our shows.
Tell me to chill and drop the mic, bro.
Show. I get it. I'm not here to step on your toes right here, though. But out of the four pillars, everyone looked at Jungle Boy to be the odd man out. They all looked at him to be that. But he had a wonderful match. He had a great match. His match at Forbidden Door. He's getting to the point where he is no longer just a sideshow attraction to a guy that reminds you of Kane. Now he's stepping out on his own, and he's stepping out of his shell, and it's starting to work for him now. It's starting to work. He went from being a tag team competitor to being a guy that you can look at and say, oh man, he can go for about 30 to 40 minutes in a match. He can do that. Now, here's the thing. Now looking at him with the other three, it's kind of hard to put him above these guys. However, give him some time. He's going to get there. Give him some time.
So when it comes
I love watching Michael's blood boil. I love this. I'm loving every second of this. I'm
glad it's not just me.
Oh, this is making my
chill, bro.
This is fantastic.
Okay, so when we're talking about the four pillars, if we're bringing this up, okay, we got MJF up here.
Yes.
Okay, the other three are just on the same level right now. Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, they're on the same level. Okay, Ryan, you're looking at me funny, but it's true. None of them have broken that glass ceiling. Honestly, MJF's probably top 2
because
he's 3 or might be the best in that company right now.
Because he's the heel right now.
He's the heel and he's the champion. Jungle Boy just turned heel. He'll get there.
Sammy Guevara's been heel for how long, and he hasn't gotten there?
And the heel turn's going to help him. I mean, the heel turn will help him right here. Look what it's doing with MJF. But MJF can't be a face. Can he? He cannot be a face. That man can't be a face at all.
And Guevara's already a multi-time TNA champion, as is Darby Allin, as much as I hate to say that. The odd man out we're looking at is a former tag team champion in Jungle Boy. And now that they've turned him into a heel, I can see him being the one to take the international title off of Orange Cassidy.
It could happen.
He could. But when you're talking about Christian Cage, this heel turn all started because of Christian.
Okay, understandably so.
Yes, it did.
Understandable.
Have you not watched AEW in 12 months?
Listen, I understand. Okay, I got to go with MD on that one because
let me explain this to Ryan real quick. Okay, you have Christian come in with Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and then Christian ends up forcing Luchasaurus to turn on Jungle Boy because Jungle Boy's too nice. Jungle Boy needs to learn how to have a cutting edge. They've been teasing that Jungle Boy doesn't have that edge or that grit to him. And Christian showed that he could elevate Luchasaurus. And then they completely break off from Jungle Boy, apparently. And now Jungle Boy's seeing everybody else get ahead of him. The 4 pillars are getting ahead of him now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Jungle Boy's got to turn heel. This face run isn't working. So Christian showed Jungle Boy, hey, if you want to make it in this business, you got to cut corners. You got to be the ultimate opportunist of AEW. This doesn't happen without Christian.
I'm just going to agree to disagree because
it's not.
I mean, if we're on your other show, you're out of pocket with this because I don't see this. Listen, most wrestlers, with the exception of Rey Mysterio, who's only gotten booed once in his career, is because he came out as number 30 in the Royal Rumble instead of Daniel Bryan. Okay,
yeah.
It's the only time in his career he was ever booed. He's never been a bad guy. Mm-hmm. It's hard to go through an entire career without flip-flopping babyface and heel. John Cena was a heel. Undertaker's been a heel and face.
Yeah.
Big Show has been heel and face more than, I mean, the flip-flop and heel and face with Big Show legitimately makes me like sick from motion sickness. So
jump rope.
It's hard. It's almost impossible to go throughout an entire career as just a babyface. So you can say that storyline wise, Christian is the one that provoked this heel turn. But I mean, Becky Lynch turned heel a few years ago and the crowd cheered her for it when she attacked Charlotte Flair after SummerSlam. I forgot what year it was, 2018, I suppose. Yeah. So, listen, I don't get the hype about Hook either. And that's probably another conversation for another day. I still think Hook could have been the one to turn heel on Jungle Boy here, but we'll agree to disagree because I
hated how Jungle Boy like turned. Like I wish Jungle Boy was a lot more aggressive other than just like clotheslining him and being done. You know, but
you want multiple chair shots? Is that what you want?
He did great. He did great crowd work with it though. So more power to him. So, you're gonna boo me? Like I'm your guy. Like my dad was a TV and a movie star. Like how are you gonna boo me? Like I get it, but I'm giving that credit to Christian is unfair.
That's not true, but it's whatever. Because we gotta move on to this Wednesday tonight because we have a fun match that if you guys have never watched before, it's AEW's own spin of War Games. And then we won't have William Regal come out and say blood and guts. But we have the Blackpool Combat Club plus Pac versus the Golden Elite.
I told you.
With Kota Ibushi joining. That's how they filled out these final teams. Who do you think wins tonight before we move off of AEW real quick? Ryan?
Give me the Golden Elite, man. I don't see you bringing in Kota Ibushi and letting them take the L. Give me the Golden Elite.
Okay. Do you think Kota stays in AEW long term?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Is he going to go to Impact?
No. I think he's going to tag with Kenny. I think he's going to tag with Kenny one more time in America. I think he'll do that because you saw the draw when Kota and Kenny tagged in New Japan when the Elite were having their problems. You saw the push that had, and it was a breath of fresh air for Kenny going with the tag, going in the tag circuit with his friend Kota Ibushi. Yeah, he'll stay. He will.
I don't know if Kota, because this is why Kota didn't really want to be in WWE. It's like living stateside and everything. Mm-hmm. But if there's anybody who could convince him to go to AEW full time,
it's Kenny.
It's Kenny.
It's Kenny.
Working for your buddy.
Hands down.
And that would probably mean that Kenny stays with AEW and we can squash these WWE rumors.
I ain't buying it.
They're never going to WWE.
He's not going that. I mean, he's teasing everybody, man. They did the tease when they were about to cancel being the Elite. When I saw that not happening, And even Kenny said it best. He wanted to headline WrestleMania with AJ Styles. That is not going to happen, first and foremost. That will not happen. I mean, because of AJ Styles' age. Not the fact that they can't do it, but just because of AJ Styles' age.
Wait, you saying AJ can't go?
No. I'm just saying WWE don't think that because look what they're doing with him. Not a goddamn thing.
Listen, he's just as old as Roman, is he not?
No, I get that. I mean, no, I'm not saying he can't go. I'm just saying that WWE is not going to push that WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like we always wanted Sting and Taker at WrestleMania.
Right.
We never got it. The one time that we could have gotten it, it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first of all, I never see Kenny Omega, possibly Hangman Adam Page, or the Young Bucks ever going to WWE.
Nope, I don't either.
They're going to be the franchise of AEW and or going back and forth to New Japan. They are the guys that never go to WWE and maybe eventually turn into Hall of Famers for WWE, a la a guy like the Great Muta, who I don't think ever actually had a match in WWE, even though he did in WCW.
Right.
But listen, Omega Styles, we've got it before. Even listen, WWE is notorious for missing opportunities. Instead of having Hogan and Flair at WrestleMania, they had Flair and Savage, was a great match.
Instead of Undertaker versus Sting.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're notorious for missing the boat. So, yeah, listen, Kenny's never going. I love the idea of putting them. Listen, if you've got WWE 2K, you can create Kenny Omega, and you can headline your own WrestleMania if that's what you want to do.
Hey, we might. Bully Ryan and I might hop on WWE 2K a little later after the show. That would be you
don't want none.
Oh,
you don't want none, Mike.
You looking scared? You don't really want none.
I look scared. Does this look like a scared face to you? Do you know who I am?
Oh, I
now,
watch.
Ryan, you attacked Impact a couple minutes ago, and I was actually covering. By the way, guys, not only did Out of Pocket spurn this triple threat Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast, but instead the wrestling movement as well. Our new Facebook page, Ryan, myself, Shannon, Desmond Johnson, who produces Tobacco Road Sports Radio. We've started up a wrestling Facebook page for the fans, having a lot of good discussion with you guys so far. If you're enjoying it, go share it with your friends. If you haven't seen it yet, go follow it real quick. It's a lot of good wrestling talk. Shannon did his little admin intro yesterday, sparking some good conversation. It's good. But I was mentioning Impact, and sometimes like they're missing the boat and whatever. I was really upset. Okay. I was really, really upset that we got the Slammiversary and there was hype around Mercedes Moné potentially showing up, and she didn't. And then for the main event, we had Alex Shelley versus Nick Aldis. And then I was like, okay, Aldis is going to win this. And he didn't. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, Alex Shelley is not a believable champion. That's your chance with eyes on the product to have Nick Aldis get the win and then have Josh Alexander come out. So you have set up a face Josh Alexander versus a heel Nick Aldis match. And they missed the boat. The Impact misses the boat yet again. Alex Shelley. But then we find out that Nick Aldis is now gone from Impact Wrestling. He's fulfilled his duties. Ryan, you gave me like 4 faces that time, and I feel like the cat cave right now, where we just disagree with each other. Why are we co-hosts? That's what I'm confused about. We never agree. But I was very frustrated that Nick Aldis lost. Was this the right decision for Impact to keep the title on Shelley, even if Nick Aldis was leaving? Could they have renegotiated? Should Aldis have stayed at Impact? There's a lot to dissect here.
No. First of all, you got worked, okay? It's not my fault that you're a mark waiting for Mercedes Moné to show up. She's got a hurt. She's still on it. She's still in a walking boot on crutches. You got worked. I'm sorry, bud. Like, you got worked, and you can't blame anybody but yourself for allowing yourself to get worked. Anybody with half a brain knows that Mercedes Moné was not showing up on that show.
Hey, I have 3/4 of a brain. Thank you very much.
Well, the fourth of it that wasn't working was the one that got worked into thinking Mercedes is going to show up on the show, right? So when it comes to Nick Aldis, first of all, to say that Alex Shelley is an unbelievable champion is an insult to Alex Shelley. This guy has been wrestling for decades. He is a phenomenal wrestler.
No.
He is a phenomenal worker.
Golly.
You asked me if I not watched AEW in the past 12 months. Have you never watched TNA or Impact Wrestling?
Yeah.
Alex Shelley's one of the best performers out there. I mean, listen, he's no AJ Styles, he's no Kenny Omega, but I would probably say he's at least top 20 to top 30 just in-ring talent alone. I mean, the Motor City Machine Guns might be outside of maybe Team 3D. I think that Motor City Machine Guns are okay. No, let me go back. Beer Money was up there. You've got America's Most Wanted, but the Motor City Machine Guns are arguably top 5 in tag teams in TNA Impact Wrestling history. So to say that Alex Shelley can work, he can make anybody look good. Alex Shelley is an older, why can't I say his name? Who's teaming up with MJF in that tag tournament right now? Adam Cole.
I'm Cole.
First of all, I have this weird feeling that I think that Alex Shelley resembles facially Seth Rollins. But I think he's just an older Adam Cole. Like, he's a great worker. I don't think he's going to be a transitional champion in the sense of like he's going to lose his title next week. I don't think he's going to go a year with the title, but it was time for him to win. I mean, his partner was a world champion. Bully Ray was world champion. Christian Cage was world champion. There are plenty of guys in TNA that probably shouldn't have been world champion. And if you're gonna say Alex Shelley doesn't deserve to be world champion, Bully Ray doesn't deserve to be world champion. Ooh. Jeff Hardy, the incarnation that we got of Jeff Hardy with his bad title and his 3-minute match with Sting.
You are not ripping that right now.
Yes, I am.
Do it.
I'm not even a Jeff Hardy fan, and you gotta be kidding. Jeff Hardy and Barrett. Jeff Hardy. I make jokes about the fact that Hogan and Bischoff coming to TNA along with Dixie Carter, that was the downfall of TNA. No, the match with Jeff Hardy and Sting in TNA was like the finger poke of doom. And Jeff Hardy's run as world champion is primarily the reason for it. I think Alex Shelley is going to be a better champion than that run with Jeff Hardy was. I totally agree with Jeff Hardy making his own bed. But Jeff Hardy won the World Heavyweight title, won the WWE title in WWE. Christian won the World Heavyweight title in WWE. Did he win
the World Heavyweight
Christian
title
was in,
or did he just win the WWE title? Okay.
Jeff Hardy won both. Christian won the World Heavyweight. Okay. Mm-hmm. These guys were constantly in the main event of WWE.
But Christian Cage had
Bully Ray.
Do that.
Dude, your name is Bully Ray because of how good of a heel Bully Ray is. Watching Impact Slammiversary, watching Alex Shelley in the main event, I'm like, I don't buy this. I don't believe this. He's a tag team.
I'm sure you would buy. Listen, I'm sure you would buy Darby Allin winning the world title in AEW, and I wouldn't buy it. It's just a difference of opinions.
I mean, but you can't tell me that Nick Aldis hadn't been one of the bigger heavyweight champions that no one has ever talked about.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
And that's the thing about it right there. I mean, because TNA did miss the mark actually for giving the title to Nick Aldis. They missed that. They missed that mark. No disrespect to Alex Shelley, because to be honest with you, he's the second to Nick Aldis winning that title, because Nick Aldis put relevance on the 10 pounds of gold when it was a dead title for years. And I became a fan of Nick Aldis when Nick Aldis dropped the title to Cody in the first All In, to have Cody fulfill what his father fulfilled as well too, holding that title that his dad held. Now I got second thoughts about Cody going to WWE. I got second thoughts now. So I kind of wish Nick Aldis would have beat his ass 2 times. But with that being said, Nick Aldis has definitely been a very, very vocal champion. But the fact that he was a free agent and no one knew, until after the match was over kind of makes it feel a little better for the loss. But, props out Shelley. I mean,
listen,
the man can go. But Nick
Y'all-
Aldis would have been a better champion.
Y'all are both saying all these great things about Nick Aldis. Will you not take into consideration that they let Shelley go over on Nick Aldis to help propel Alex Shelley as a champion? Now he's got he won the world title, and now he's just beaten one of the greatest NWA champions in this century, this millennium.
Understandably,
it makes sense.
I mean,
of course it does. I know. See, look, Michael's starting to change his mind a little bit. Said he makes.
I'm not changing my mind.
No, I won you over. You said it makes sense. You can't take it back.
No.
It makes sense. No, I win.
That's not what I said. For context purposes, that was Impact's decision that Aldis was leaving. Okay, let's have Shelley go over to make Shelley a believable champion. Just didn't work.
For you, it worked for me. It didn't work for you. It worked for me. I want to see him beat Josh Alexander and then really piss you off.
Oh, just because Alex Shelley has been with the company for 20 years doesn't mean that he deserves Employee of the Month.
He hasn't been with the company.
That's all this is.
He's been in and out.
Loyalty card. Give him the loyalty card, man. Don't be a meanie. Give him the loyalty card.
Listen, would you rather them bring the Legends title back and give that to Alex Shelley instead?
Oh, wow.
Absolutely not. That Legends title was turned into the TV title. That was the biggest mistake. Again, we talk about mistakes that TNA made. That was another one. But Alex Shelley being world champion, beating Nick Aldis, about to beat Josh Alexander. They're just building his legacy to have been the working man's champion, to be the underdog champion.
He's not even a good underdog, though. Daniel Bryan was a good underdog.
Listen, Nick Aldis going to WWE anyway.
He was great.
Nick Aldis going to WWE anyway, so it's all good.
Is he?
WWE. I think.
Yeah, that's why I want to post to you guys. Shannon thinks he's going WWE.
He is. It's all good. And
I mean,
they're gonna be sick, and they're gonna be sick that he's going to WWE because I think my man's gonna actually get that world heavyweight title. Though I think
they're just gonna continue to overwater the pool in AEW, and he's gonna wind up in AEW. I don't think he goes to WWE.
No, you don't think so?
Maybe he goes to New Japan. Like maybe he goes and joins the United Empire alongside. Maybe that's the way that they get. Yeah, maybe they find a way to. And I'm so mad that I can't say his name because he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Well, maybe Will Ospreay is ousted of United Empire to find his way into the States to be in either AEW or WWE. And Nick Aldis takes over the United Empire like they used to do with the Bullet Club time over time.
Right. Wow. They get a new leader because Tom doesn't want it, which is odd.
Give me a federation, man. I can write good wrestling, dude. Just give me the power. Give me it.
I mean, he hasn't hurt my feelings yet, man. I mean,
as long as you have a filter or something for your bad ideas, I think you could do okay.
I got to book it. I mean, if you're gonna write it, then I'm gonna book him. I mean, so I'll be the book man. So we can do that.
I'll be the
There we go.
maybe. Who knows?
I want to be the referee that always takes the bumps. That's what I want to be. I want to be the referee that gets stuck in the corner as Bronson Reed comes barreling down on me. That's what I want to be.
Wait, don't you mean to say big Bronson Reed?
Bronson Reed.
Is that what they're calling? I don't care, dude. I'm a fan. I love Bronson Reed.
Oh,
gosh, they debuted like. You know how Seth is like Seth freaking Rollins? Yep. They debuted big Bronson Reed last night on Raw.
I mean, he's always going to be Jonah to me too. So it doesn't matter what they call him. He's a star.
Big Jonah.
Yeah. He is a combination of Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Yokozuna all in one.
That is the best comparison you've ever done. You've said that several times.
I know.
That, perfectly encaptures them.
I mean,
yeah.
Man. I mean, for real, that moonsault when he done the moonsault, oh man, that was nice. That I thought of Bam Bam Bigelow when he done that. Yeah. That was incredible.
He's a star.
Yeah. Now you mentioned, and I hate that we don't have Des here to talk about this because he's very passionate about this. He's been saying this for months. And this was actually his post on our wrestling page, The Wrestling Movement. If you haven't went and shared that at all, there was a scene on SmackDown where Bobby Lashley pulls up and the Street Profits are waiting for him. They leave in a limousine together. It looks like the Hurt Business is reforming without Cedric Alexander, without Shelton Benjamin. Right now, it's just Lashley and Street Profits. Shannon, what do you think about, a potential new Hurt Business?
Oh, man, I was so happy seeing that because first and foremost, I think this is going to definitely help my man from the Street Profits elevate himself. And finally, they're going to give something for Bobby Lashley to do, which is another thing because he sat dormant on that. I mean, let's all be honest here. Everybody knows why everybody watches SmackDown. Everybody knows why. We all know why. Is because, yes, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. That's the reason why everybody's watching SmackDown. And that's okay. And then, to see my man LA Knight as well, too, to see that as well. But this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be interesting because we got to figure out who in the world is going to dethrone the Bloodline. We got to figure out who's going to try to go after the title, who's going to try to go after this and dissemble the Bloodline. And what better way to do it than another bigger star like Bobby Lashley? Now, one thing has to be done is you have to have somebody who's going to talk because we all know that Bobby Lashley is about as interesting as this cup right here. So we all know this.
That cup looked very interesting, actually.
I'm just telling you right now, he's about as interesting. He's about as interesting as this cup. Like, you gonna get some dialogue out of this Chick-fil-A cup than you are with Bobby Lashley. And that's not his place. That's not his place because he's the enforcer. He's the big guy. That's what MVP was for with the Hurt Business. So they're gonna have to find somebody to be a mouthpiece for him. But great idea, man. I was happy. I saw this. I loved it.
So that was Shannon's reaction to the Hurt Business. I hate the idea of thinking like Bobby Lashley is going to dethrone him though, because it doesn't make sense.
I mean, not saying that it's gonna happen, but they got to have somebody to go after him, man, because they've beat the crap out of everybody. Who's left?
I feel like if Drew, Sammy, Cody, or Jay couldn't dethrone Roman, and yes, I'm predicting SummerSlam, then Bobby Lashley won't. Like, this is going to be to elevate a new star.
Yes.
Like, that's what Roman's reign is going to use.
My man from the Street Profits is going to be the one that's going to do it, man. Montez, he's going, yeah, man. Get him, man.
Not yet. Not yet.
Help him, though. Look at what the Bloodline's doing with Solo Sikoa. Come on, man.
That was out of pocket, Mike. That was out of pocket.
Give me some.
It's not Friday. It's Wednesday. It's part of your Wrestling Wednesday card. That was out of pocket.
I mean, you gonna hurt me like that, man. I've been looking for a nation domination for a long time. I've been looking for a new nation. Come on, man.
Well, hey, why not let Ron Simmons come and be the mouthpiece?
Yes, yes. Come on, Legends contract, baby.
He can only say one word now, anyways.
No, he gets promos. Listen. Give me Ron Simmons as the mouthpiece. I still think they can bring in Cedric Alexander to be the high flyer, the unpredictable guy, if you will. Because you talk about, I mean, we talked about the idea, at least we being the internet community, wrestling community, about the possibility of bringing back the Hurt Business with Omos and Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander and MVP. That sort of fizzled away. You talk about Bobby Lashley being about as charismatic as a pet rock. Omos is worse because Omos can't wrestle. So, I mean, listen, I love the prospect of a Hurt Business 2.0. I love the idea of potentially, if not Ron Simmons, bringing MVP back and Lashley saying, listen, you're going to say what I want you to say when I say it. I'm the leader of this group. You're going to say what, you're going to fall in line with me. But this is who we're with now. This is our crew. Let's roll. And I love it. He's not going to be the one to dethrone Roman because Cody's still going to do that at WrestleMania. But
chill, baby. Chill. Can
you imagine if Cody wins the Royal Rumble, challenges Roman Reigns, moves to SmackDown, and then he loses again?
I'm telling you, man. That's what's going to happen because Vince McMahon is a petty you-know-what, and Triple H is a petty you-know-what, And when he slammed that sledgehammer down at All In, he took that personally, man. He took it personally. I don't care what anyone says. Now, hopefully I'm wrong.
Listen,
I will say this now, Ryan. I will say this. Hopefully I'm wrong. I pray to God that I'm wrong, because I think Cody has paid his dues, even though he kind of went about it the wrong way, in my opinion, because of how he went to WWE. But I pray to God that I'm wrong, because I would love to see it happen. I really do.
Listen, there's a documentary, and it's a free plug for Peacock. Not that they need it from us, but there's a documentary that's starting to air on July 31st, where they talk about Cody Rhodes' road back to WWE.
Oh, I saw it.
And there's part of that promo is Kevin Owens saying that Vince McMahon himself flew to Cody Rhodes' house to ask him to come back. Don't tell me he's petty. He's going to go fly to his house.
Come back to break his heart. Come back to make him Stardust again.
All this.
Come back because AEW is creating momentum.
No. He was already getting booed in AEW. The AEW fans got tired of him. And he's like, I'm not going to turn heel because the crowd wants me to be heel.
Yeah, and he's Cody.
Yeah. So yeah.
Fans booed John Cena for how long?
But
because they were shoved. Cena was shoved down our throat like Roman was as a babyface up until pre-pandemic.
But the thing that did it for me with Cody now that I really liked is that when he headed his company, he didn't try to put the world title on himself like a certain person I know. Time to play the game. I mean, he didn't do that. Now that's
Jarrett,
what
TNA, yeah.
That's what I do like about Cody Rhodes is he didn't put the world championship on himself just because WWE gave him a raw deal when he was younger. He didn't do that. He didn't create his own. He didn't create his own company to give himself the title, which would have been very, very bad. You know, it would have been bad on him. He even said it himself. He said, "That's not what I did this for. I didn't create a company just to put a title on myself." And that was dope. I really give credit where credit is due to Cody for doing that, because you know some people would have done that. Look what Jeff Jarrett did. I mean,
look what Michael Davis is doing right now. Like the mark he is, put the title on himself.
Wait, what are you talking about? It has my name on it.
Yeah, you put the title on yourself. You put the title on yourself, like the mark you are, like Triple H, like Jeff Jarrett. Listen, like Vince McMahon put the title on himself at one point. I mean, you know, listen, you do what you want to do, man. This is your show. I'm just here.
Yeah, man.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
I don't know. After today, you might get fined, actually.
I mean, I'm never being invited again to this show.
Never.
You might not get invited to the Cat Cave next week.
Yeah, Michael's like, Cat Cave's done, dude. No, we're canceling.
Michael's like, oh, I'm hosting. Maybe I should go get literally anyone else on the
Ryan,
planet.
you're busy this week, right? That's okay. I can get someone to fill in for you. Just, take the month off.
You said you've been canceled. It's like the episode of Out of Pocket where they did all of the cuts on ESPN, and you said if Des were to give you a call, you're not going to answer the phone because you know what's going to happen. That's what you're going to do.
I know if my company's based out in California, and I know if I get a call from a California number on a Friday afternoon, I know I'm not answering because I know that's a true story. A true story.
Des, I'm on air right now.
Getting cut, man.
Hey, Des, I ain't mean to pick up the phone. Can I call you back?
Cody.
I know we're up against time. I got you. Okay.
This guy.
Wait. Just to be clear, you're cutting us off air. You're not cutting me, right? Hey, can I call you back?
I mean, listen, this is a good work because it feels like a shoot.
This feels like a prank.
It feels like a shoot.
Let go. Hey, can I call you back? Okay, I'll wrap it up. Okay, I ain't
wrap it up, B.
I ain't get to everything, but we got next week, right?
Right.
So we'll talk about next week.
Yeah, that call don't sound good. It don't sound good at all.
Hey, let me give you a call back, okay? All right, bye.
You went about 30 seconds too long with that gimmick, but let's go with it. It's like the "This Is Your Life" segment, or like the Bloodline segment on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. That's what that was.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that was a segment. Well, guys, I don't know any other way to end the show with this has been the Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast. Thank you so much to Ryan and Shannon for stopping by on Drop the Mic today. Tune to Out Pocket with Michael Davis at 4 live this Friday. If I still have a job, I got to call Des back. And then Drop the Mic again next week at 2 p.m. Before we get out, Ryan, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find Tapouts and Touchdowns on social media at Tapouts and TDs on Twitter, Facebook.com/Tapouts and Touchdowns. You can go search for the YouTube channel, Tapouts and Touchdowns. You can also find me with Michael Davis on the Cat Cave podcast through either Tobacco Road Sports Radio's YouTube channel or the Keep Pounding Podcast Network, powered by the Fans First Sports Network. So come and join us. Thanks for having me, Mike. Appreciate it. This has been fun.
Of course. Yeah. And of course, go follow our Facebook page, The Wrestling Movement. Myself, Ryan, Shannon, Des, all admins on the page. You're going to meet us throughout this week and sharing some really good wrestling topics, good debates going back and forth. Really love it. Excited to drop this episode for you guys this Wednesday afternoon. And don't forget to subscribe to the Tobacco Road Sports Radio's YouTube channel. And whatever you do, do not drop the mic. We will see you all next week.